Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and we're back with another Overwatch theory video. Now, I've been slowing down on the theory videos lately because I do want to spend a bit more time on them and hopefully get more detail in them where it's possible. Just a heads up though, I will be expanding the theories on the channel to cover more games than just Overwatch alone, but bear in mind that these videos take much longer to make, so they will be somewhat further apart. Now, nevertheless, in the meantime, I will be covering all sorts of games on the channel, as some of you no doubt have noticed by now. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and comment down below after the video is over, and share your thoughts. And if you enjoy videos like these, don't forget to subscribe for more. But let's get a move on now to this theory, and you've probably noticed from the title, Pharah might be Canadian, and I know what you're thinking, how's that possible? Her bio clearly says she's Egyptian, after all. Well, that's where I need to point out a few things. Have you ever noticed that most characters have lines in their own language? You probably have. Listen to Hanzo or Genji speaking Japanese in the game. Sombra has a few lines in Spanish, and Mei very frequently speaks Mandarin Chinese, and so on. Even Ana, Pharah's mother, has lines in Arabic, so why doesn't Pharah then have similar Arabic lines? Sure, many other characters don't have lines in their native language, but it is a curious omission since Pharah was never a member of Overwatch, and all of the other members that aren't native English speakers that don't have dialogue in their own language were indeed Overwatch members, as see Reinhardt and Torbjorn as examples. Reinhardt doesn't have really any lines in German, and Torbjorn doesn't have any lines in Swedish as far as I know right now, but they were Overwatch members, and if you put it into context, Overwatch would be a place where they would primarily speak English, or at least a common language. But there's more too. When Overwatch first launched, there was a fair amount of controversy kicked up about her legendary skins. She had the Rain Dancer and Thunderbird skins, and these were picked up by some people as yet another sign of cultural appropriation. Some said Blizzard was simply lumping together people of darker skin tone and painting them all as the same. In this case, saying that Native American and Arabic people were the same by mashing the two cultures together. But now we might actually have an answer to all this. You see, the skins in question are not Native American at all, or at least not America as we know it right now. They are still North American for sure. In fact, the styling of Pharah's Thunderbird skin in particular matches the painting style and colours of the Canadian native depictions of the mythical creature by the same name, that is, the Thunderbird. So much so that literally the first image that comes up when you search for native Canadian Thunderbird is a traditional drawing in the exact colours of Pharah's Thunderbird skin. As for Rain Dancer, well, that's a little harder to pin down the origins for, but the likely story here is that it is simply a colour variation that the Thunderbird skin is the so-called main skin for. After all, nearly every skin in the game, aside from seasonal ones, have a alternative colour option. But why? Why should she then have a skin that represents native Canadian folklore at all? Well, Overwatch's latest comic has a possible clue. Now, I've talked about this in my last video, and I've broken down what we've seen in it so far, so if you haven't seen that video yet, I suggest you check it out for the full lore breakdown. So, in that comic we see Pharah having dinner with an older gentleman, and I did say in the last video that it's possible that this man is her father. After all, at this point in the story, her mother, Ana, is still missing and presumed dead, with only Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes knowing for sure that she's still alive. And with the comic's current theme about spending time with friends or family, it stands to reason that Pharah could be spending Christmas with the only other family she has left, be it her father or simply a relative. Now, it's possible that he's simply a close friend or even an old army buddy, but there's more to this picture. In the window nearby, we can see that it's snowing. This indicates that she's not likely to be in Egypt anymore, unless of course there's some serious, and I mean very serious, climate shifts going on. We can probably safely assume she's not in Egypt. Given the time of year that the holiday season takes place in, this means that she's likely in the northern hemisphere and far north enough that it's actually snowing. After all, anybody from Australia can definitely attest to this. It doesn't snow at the end of the year in Australia. So, that aside, the final clue we have here is that behind Pharah's head there is a TV with what appears to be maybe ice hockey on the screen, and there appears to be a Canadian flag on the screen. Now, it's not particularly clear, but it does look very much like a Canadian flag. So if all these things are true, and that is indeed her father, and he is of native Canadian origin, this would mean that Pharah herself is of course of mixed descent, and this would explain the presence of the skins in her selection. After all, many characters do have skins that hint at their background. Sombra has the Los Muertos gang skin. Both Genji and Hanzo have younger versions of themselves, as does Ana. And even Bastion has an Omnic Crisis skin indicating its original purpose, so it's entirely possible then that this skin was intended to be a nod to her mixed heritage. This would also make her the only character to be of known mixed descent that then has two skins dedicated to it, with the nods to her Egyptian heritage being the Jackal and Anubis skins as well. But if that was the case, why did Blizzard not simply explain that this was not a case of messing up cultures? It seems logical, after all, that if they had intended it to be this way, that they could have simply said so. Well, Blizzard has also said that they are holding off on revealing who Pharah's father is until the time is right. In this universe, she does know who her father is, it's not a secret, but they have acknowledged that her father is a totally different character that hasn't been revealed yet. It's not a character that exists in the current universe yet, or at least one we know of. So in wanting to keep this character a secret, they avoided talking about why Pharah has these skins at all. And thinking about it, it all makes sense, because telling anybody that she has a cultural reason for having these skins would be as good as revealing that she is in fact part native Canadian. It would be very difficult for Blizzard to explain anything at all without revealing too much. But overall, the outrage, while mostly well-intentioned at the time, was ultimately misguided, and while many of those that were outraged were citing this as a case of appropriation of Native American culture, it now seems that they may have been completely on the wrong track. Ironic, then, that those being outraged for the sake of a culture being misrepresented ended up misrepresenting said culture anyway. And that is why I hope that this theory turns out to be true the most, because misguided outrage will always do more harm than good. But let me know what you guys think. Is Pharah really part Canadian, or is it simply that an artist thought it looked cool? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.